Welcome at the first Ask the Professor of this MOOC. I really hope you enjoyed, and when I look to your response, I have really a massive of questions and suggestions, and also compliments of this first week. So I'm really happy that I see you in that amount, more than 3,000 people all over the world, so I'm really proud that we have a nice community. So I think the interactive map would also help each other to see what is railway look like in other countries. Also I learn a lot, so that's really what I like to see, to have this one community, especially now in this crisis of COVID-19. Therefore I'm here in the park, not at the railway system or at the station, because here in Holland it's not allowed and you have to stay more or less at home. So that's the situation. But okay, no railways to point to, but I can explain a lot of things already, I think. And therefore I have some questions I like to answer to you. The first question I like to discuss with you is about the wheel-rail interface and how does it looks like and what is the history of it. It's a long way to explain, and I think it's not realistic to do this in a few minutes video, but I will respond on these questions on the forum of Ask the Professor. I have more than 40 questions, so that's great. So I like to give some answers on that way, so that will come soon. Now I like to introduce the wheel-rail interface, and it's always a balance. It's always a balance of wear, and you have a balance of cracks, stresses, you could say. And many questions are about what is the best, and what about freight, and what about light rail, but keep in mind there's only one balance, and that's you get wear, or you get stresses and cracks. So the question to you is, what do you like? You can say I don't like it all. I fully agree, but that's just a hypothetical reason how to reach that level, and that we call the magic wear rate. And that's not possible, that you just get off by natural wear, by trains, just the stresses and the hard layers of the steel, and that not more than that. So we have zero wear and no cracks, because the cracks are worn away by itself, by the train, by the wheels. It's not possible. It's only once in a lifetime that it will be there, but the balance will be disturbed by the weather, by traction control or whatever. So that's not possible. So the main question is what you like to do. Maintenance for wear is easy. We can just measure the geometry, how much wear, how much millimeters are away. Then you can say, okay, can I do the maintenance longer, or should I replace? But what about cracks? It's more dangerous, more the safety issue. Do you like the cracks? Because they can crack easily through, and then you have a broken rail or a broken part. And that's another story. Do you like that? Can you manage that? So that's the other side. So what of the two paints you like the most? And that's a nice question I give back to you. Another question I had from you was, for multiple people, was about the ballast. What is the need, you could say? What is the best way to use ballast? And is there a difference of quality? Yes, of course, you can say I do a very poor and use very poor quality of the ballast, not hard enough, so it will crush down when a train will run over. It's cheap, but then you have to renew it very early. Or you say I have a high quality ballast, and there I can go on for a long time, and I can temp it. So over there you also have to balance, what do you need? What is your policy? What is your vision about maintenance? Do you like to go back every time because it is broken down because one train was passing over? Or I need a longer lifespan and I do some maintenance? What is the best? I don't know. It's more about what do you like and what is your vision. And also culture is involved, because ballast and all the equipment, all the assets are very high dense of budget, you could say. So the value is high, so it's not easy to say I just throw it away and bring new in. And that's also not easy to say, okay, which choice you made and why not changing it very quickly to another way. And that's because of this problems. The best way to look at ballast is keep the ballast quality high, so you have less problems with maintenance, and you have a long run for the life cycle. So I think that's the best way, and therefore the question was about why don't you use the same ballast quality for light rail and also for the heavy rail. And I think that's exactly the question, because it's more easy to say, okay, I have the highest quality, Maybe it costs a little more in the beginning, but at the end you save a lot of money because of less lack of maintenance. I think that's always the choice. How to make the best choice is about what is your policy, what is your vision, and what do you like to achieve. What's your long-term goals? Another question about ballast was, what about sand? When you have ballast track in the desert and you have sand problems. Yes, of course, because it's windy and it's, all the sand is going in the ballast. Good question. You can approach it in two ways. You can say, okay, how to avoid the sand coming into the ballast, or I make a construction which I don't care if there is sand or not. I think that's both series you can do. What can you do, for example, when you say, okay, I have slab track in the desert. Of course you get sand, but you can make a slab track on blocks. So you have a lot of space, sand can just have a windy, free area, and let's see how it will develop. Or another way is how to avoid that sand is coming into the track. So you can also think about how can I make some aerodynamics that this sand will not go in, but go over or go under. Nice challenge for you to think over and how to design that. I think ballast is a real typical question, and when you have more questions about ballast and the reason for ballast and how it looks like and what the construction of the railways looks like, I like to advise you to go on with the professional education which will follow after this MOOC. Another question I like to discuss is about hunting. Hunting is also a nice balance, you could say, about the wheel-rail interaction and also the car body, the train and the full construction on the Mother Earth. So that's also a nice combination, also a balance, because hunting we need, because we have to steer ourselves the train. So because of the conic shape, you need this play of self-regulation of the motion. And this is easily to do, easily to manage, because the train is managing itself. But the problem is, sometimes you get a high frequency or the hunting is too much, but how to control it. And therefore you need this mass spring combinations, your stiffnesses you can regulate, and also the inclination and the shape of the wheels. A lot of things you can do, but what is the best? There's always a discussion. What is the best? I don't know. The real question is, can we hunt, can we control hunt in a good way? And I think the best way is to shape the right conditions to have this good running motion. Another way is to say, okay, when I have problems with a certain speed, why not cancel that speed and go a little higher speed or a little lower, because that makes a lot of differences. A lot of questions I read from you was about what is the history of certain amounts of acids and how they developed and why, and what is the differences of all kinds of constructions. And I really like this attitude, because you get hungry to get more knowledge about it. But it's only week one, so I would say please keep it in mind, go on, and also after the MOOC we have this professional education, where we also have track and train, we have real-time operations and performance over time with a capstone at the end. So you get a full program, if you like, to go on after this MOOC, to go in more depth. And then also we have a private conversation with each other, if you like to follow up. So thank you for all your questions. I hope you enjoyed, and I think we can go on very easily. We have a very active group, a lot of people all over the world, so keep on track. I think that's the most important part. Enjoy also in this crisis time. And also I like to say that my nickname is Rodo9070. So when you see that nickname, it's me. And I think I like to give some answers to you if you look back in the forum. All my other colleagues also trying to add some comments, so please keep in mind that there will come some follow-up. So that's it for this time. I see you and look for the next time for the Ask the Professor. I hope you enjoyed and keep very healthy, and see you next time.